Hey guys, today we tie another pike fly, and today our main material is ripple ice fiber. Got a really nice package from Fly Fishing Nation Pro Shop with different colors of ripple ice fibers, and this was the result, and I wanted to share that one with you. Yeah, so we have two hooks. This is Altitude Extra in size 3.0, and this one here is a 6.0 Universal Predator X hook. We have the connection with Pike wire 40 lb, and then on the sides we have the saddle tails from Paolo and a Dragontail on the back. So let's start and tie on the tail. I'll fast forward that. And tighten it. A little bit more glue on the windings and just put that aside, let it dry. And now we can actually start with the fly. So first of all, we tie the back part, which is tied, as I said before, on a Altitude Extra in size 3.0. Just get that hook in. Just a few base wraps. Not much to do there. Also here, just take a little bit of the glue, not too much, just to get the connection a little bit tighter to the hook shank so it's not turning over later. So I got my wire here. With short wires, I also mostly think it's easier to tie it in first, one edge, before I put in the beads, because then one side is actually secured and it's easier to bend it over. For the tail connection we use a little bit smaller beads, some really nice ones here. Yeah, I think it's 3mm beads. So just slide them on top. 1, 2, and the last 2 are stuck on each other. There we go. 3. Now we get our fast attach with the easy ones for the tail. Don't try to put a hook on there. And just try to slide everything back through the beads, if possible. Always a little bit tricky with such short amounts of wire. But as you can see here, worked perfectly. Just give it 2-3 reps underneath, just to lift it up a bit. We don't need to fold the wire back here, as it's just the tail, there will be no pressure on it. Now we got our tail connector in, and then we check the fly with just one layer of bucktail and then a layer of the ripple ice fiber, but we tied it in quite at the end, so we don't tie up too much material and make the fly heavy. So we just take a bit of bucktail, not much, maybe 1/4 of a pen, take the long fibers, align the tips again, as we have to shorten it a bit. We tie it in here in the front, but we don't want to have it much longer than the tail connector, so maybe like that. Have to cut it a bit off, no problem there, and then we can slide it, just if we don't grab it too tight, just loose, and have it already equally distributed around the hook. And then we do a few loose wraps and then just tighten it down. is up here. And this is just our first layer of bucktail. As I put a little bit more in of other colors in the back. So mainly a little bit of olive, and I think it was a little bit tan black maybe. Let me just recheck. Yeah, we have the light tan color here, and then there's the olive and a little bit of the dark brown here within the tan. Bucktail is there as well. It's a little bit stiffer. It gives us a little bit more place to rise the fibers up there. So we just align the tips again and just mix that a little bit like that on the fingers, just to get the colors mixed up a little bit. Don't worry about the tips. And we'll have around that length as we tie it in the other way around. So this one we tie in reverse. So the total length will be around that one here. But when we tie it in reverse like that, I can use the lower tips to flare the bucktail against, or push the bucktail against it, and this gives me a little bit more stability later on for putting my ripple ice fiber against. So I want to lean my material from the front, the bucktail here, and then the ripple ice fiber against this collar here, so we can have a little bit more volume there, which just gives us a little bit more the shape of a baitfish. So like that, just a few wraps, and then as you see here, we can just flare it around, and then you have this color here, and this one a bit here is just thicker and just has a little bit more stability to keep the volume. It's so we just tie it in front like that. Just a little cone like. So it's just hollow tied. You can also tie on top and raise it again. Also possible to save a little bit of thread. Not really necessary here, but yeah, you can do that. Sorry for the noise of my bobbin. New one is already ordered. It's already arrived. And I think I'll pick it up this weekend. So then the noise is gone. So now we put the ripple ice fiber on top, and for the first part I mixed these two colors. So this is peacock and copper. Just really like that. And you just pull it out. And you can just do it separately. One time copper, one time peacock, one time copper, peacock, copper, peacock, and like that. And it's a really nice material, but you do quite use a bit of it for streamers, at least I do. So I probably can tie with the 2 packages or the 3 packages. I would say maybe 5 or 6 of these streamers, maybe a bit more, but at least 5 or 6. And but it is a really nice material, and it's really, the durability of it is nice as well. It withstands a lot of pike teeth, so it's definitely worth the money. So we just tie one section up here in the front like that, and the other section goes into the belly, and probably we could fish this one already here as a fly like that. So just tighten it and then just reverse that. And tie on top of it to secure it. Just a few wraps. Make a few knots in here. And then cut the thread. And now we apply a little bit of glue, which is soaking into the head material. here in front, or not head material, with the into the thread and the nose of the material, so that will be really stable. So now the step is quite important, as we tie on the second hook now, the main hook, which will be a Universal Predator X in size 6/0, so this one. Now we of course have to put this hook aside for a second. We have to make the connection, and as we're tying with not really long material, you are not allowed to make the connection too long, otherwise you will have like 2 bumps of a streamer and not a whole silhouette. Because when I would tie in the ripple ice fiber here now, or the first bit of ripple ice fiber, then if it will get wet, it will just fall down, and we have a gap here. So you have to watch that you have a constant shape in your streamer when you tie articulated streamers, or streamers with a stinger hook on it, or whatever. So for that reason, we tie the connection with the pike wire and make the first one quite short. Now we tie a hook in, so make sure you reverse at least a bit of it, so it's not getting pulled out, like that. And then we take our beads, one orange, one black, and one orange, that are 6mm beads. Get them at Smartlures, or the I think the usual Bauer 6mm beads will do as well. And I try to slide everything back through here. It's always a little bit more difficult. Never mind. Now we just align everything. So like that. And tie that down. Tie it down till here and fold it back as well, just to secure that it's not getting pulled out. I never tie the wire to the front if I can, if I don't have to, because then I can keep the front a little bit thinner. That just gives me more possibilities to shape my head. If it's a bulky head or a bulky shank, I can't do, for example, a glide head or whatever, if I would like to. So now we take a little bit of a bucktail again, and we kind of repeat the procedure of the first step. So really easy, but this time we want to make sure that we'll cover the gap between the hooks. So first step, bucktail, flare it a bit around the hook, tie it down. That's just the supporting layer for the next step of bucktail I'm tying in now. So again, we mix it with a little bit of olive, just to get a little mix of colors. I don't know why, but I just love to have different hues of colors in my fly. So when I tie a fly in brownish colors, I always use like 3 or 4 different hues of colors. When I tie black flies, of course, they mostly are just plain black, but as soon as I go with colored flies, I just like to have different shapes of colors. Just don't know if the pike really cares, but I think it just looks more natural. And then we just do it the same way again. So we spread that around here. And just tighten it. I mix the fibers and then I turn them around the hook shank, that I have a little bit lighter section on the belly and a little bit darker on the back. And just slide it back. This time just tie in front of it a few reps to see how it looks. You can always move and flare the bucktail with your fingers if you want to or need to. So now when the bucktail is getting wet, it will lay on the first bit here, and now we put the ripple ice fiber on top and cover this little gap as well. So we take again the different colors, peacock and copper. And now we have our ripple ice fibers. When we do that, they are already tapered as well, but now we tie them in like maybe 80 or 90, 10, as I want to have a long edge sticking out to cover the gap of the wire. So just pull the fibers out that are not catched properly, and we tie in the belly section. Do the same thing here. Turn everything, just tie it down properly. It's really easy, simple material to tie with. No, not really much that can go wrong. And you just fold it back, tie on top of it. And secure it like that. And usually I don't do that, but if you want you can increase maybe the durability with a little bit of glue in here, but I don't do it because I never had problems with the fly opening up, and it just takes so much time when you put glue in the tying steps in between, and I don't think it's really necessary if you keep a tight wrap. If you're a beginner and your wraps are not that tight, it's always good to put a little bit of glue in, of course. So you see now the fibers are really long here, and when they're getting wet they're not folding down like that, but they will lie onto the other side of the hook and will form an equally body of a baitfish. And now we just tie in some textreme chenile. You can use any other chenile as well if you want to, but just have this one handy here, and I like the color. Forgot the name of it again. I think it's gold, copper UV, gold UV flash, something like that. But it's a natural tone, and you can just fill a little bit of the hook with it without getting any weight to the fly. And so we just kind of wrapping it around the hook all the way to the hook eye nearly, to cover the belly section without creating a big voluminous body where we can catch a lot of water, which causes difficulties to cast. So we just do it like that, and just do it in tight wraps. Nothing really bad about that. And then we just tie it down here, just a few wraps, and then we can cut it off. Just grab the scissors like that, and then I just brush it out a bit. Like that. And I always tie a few wraps back onto the chenile, so everything is protected and covered and can't open up again, like that. And now it's kind of the same progress again. We just to take a little bit of bucktail, a little bit of ripple ice fiber, and the fly is done. So as before, just loose wrap. Tie it down. Like that. Now we take a little bit of the darker tan in here, which is just the uncolored natural color of the middle. Really nice color though. And again we take a little bit of olive, not too much. Mix the colors up again. And this one gives us the color again for the head section. Also pushes water, which is always good for pike fly. So I tie it in like that. Just split it a little bit down, just push it down, nearly like stacking a head. And just tie on top of it. This is giving the shape to our body. Give a little bit loose wraps in here to get the back a little bit, the belly a little bit flatter to the hook. And now we take our ripple ice fiber, and now we are mixing 3 colors, so we take more black in it as well. So we take the peacock, then a bit of copper, then the black. So we mix that a bit, and then we take 2 bunches. Like that. That's the first bunch. And that's the second bunch. The second bunch is a little bit thicker, a little bit darker. So we tie that one onto the top. So now we take our saddle tails and tie them in. I tie them in a little bit pointing down, maybe in a, let's say 30-45 degree angle, as when I fold them back. This will be exactly the angle it's pointing upwards. And I like my tails, or my saddle tails, my feathers, depending on what I tie in, I like them to point upwards like that a bit, as the weight of themselves and is pushing them down again. So I just think it looks a bit better. So like that. For those guys who say I'd rather tie in feathers here, it's fine, you can do that. Feathers, I think, have kind of the same effect on the fly, only the durability of the saddle tails is probably a bit higher. So when you want to fish a fly for quite a while, for pike, And then you probably, when you think the stripes on the side or the saddles on the sides is the main key to the fly, it's always worth considering of using maybe saddle tails. Yeah, saddle tails. So just tie that down, make a little knot in here, and maybe a second one. I lost my scissor again, as always. Here it is. And then the fly is kind of finished already. Only brush that back later. And that's kind of it. So we separate that a bit. The fly will look like that. Now you can decide how you want to do it. If you want to make it really easy, you could have just folded it back and tied down here, and the fly would be finished as well. But with all these different colors and flashy bits of the head section, I prefer to do it with UV glue, at least just a bit, not much. So just secure the head a bit, and just take a little bit of my gulff. This is the Fat Man. Probably the thinner version would be a little bit better even here, but I only have this one here. I hardly use UV glue, but sometimes it's a really nice thing to have. And yeah, if you want to just stabilize the head, I think the thinner one would be the nicer version, but this one is fine as well. So just get a little bit of it onto my dummy needle. Just get it in here. Just poke it. Get it really into the material just a bit. Also use your fingers if you're not afraid of glue. Just check it a bit. It's more or less straight. But now there's not much you can change anymore. It's actually getting really hot. I think you can burn your fingers on it when you would put it on your fingers. And just take a little bit for the belly section as well. And I only want to really do it on the front section here. I don't want to go too fine. Just to make sure the fibers are pointing backwards. I don't want to have the whole shape of the head yet, as I can't really determine the shape with the clamp in the back, so I can't really tell where it would go. Alright, maybe some people can, I can't. So just want to have it here in the front section to have it really tight, and then I can loosen my clamp and it should be everything in position, and then I can actually determine the shape of my head. See, like that. Brush it out. Everything's fine. I can still form all the shape. Don't worry about if the saddle tails are pointing out a little bit here. That's where we put the ice. So not really reason to worry about it. And as eyes, I'm using these. Hope you can see them. 12 millimeters red eyes, 3D eyes. So this glue is already a little bit stiff, a little bit dried. So I just put a little bit of the glue in here already. Usually I only put it on the eye, but as it's a little bit dried out and it's not as viscose as it used to be, it's a little bit stiffer and harder. I'll just put the eye on like that, you can see that, and do the same thing on the other side. So just massage the glue a little bit in here. And I'll take my second one, which is here. Onto the needle and onto the streamer. Now, if you want, you can still shape the head with more UV glue. I usually let the eyes dry first and then I check if I like the streamer or not, but I think the shape here is good already, so I don't really have to mess around with it much. Just get the eye in position so they're kind of looking equally, and then just getting these nice eyes tools, get it tight on it. So if you haven't tried out Settletails, give it a go. You can do fantastic things with it. So thanks for watching.